Welcome back to NC Bassin. I'm Landon Moore. Today I'm on Lake Norman, putting in at Queens Landing, McCurry Creek access, whatever you want to call it. It's Thanksgiving Day, so I have a few hours. I'm about to leave about 12:30. But luckily the boat ramp's empty, so hopefully everybody stays home, but I'm sure some people are going to be out later. It's cold right now. It's like 34 degrees. I'm surprised how cold it is. No wind right now until like 11 o'clock. The wind finally starts blowing. No clouds. It might be one of those tough days, but I'm going to try to fish a little deeper. Of course, I'm going to start off shallow. Hopefully the fish are biting. Maybe this cold weather will actually get them grouped up and on that fall feed. It's been a struggle lately, so I just hope to catch some fish. Maybe figure out a pattern. I might be doing the hook setter tournament this week, but I'm probably going to miss this one. I'll be doing a few hook setter tournaments, so I really need to figure out the fish. I know December is going to be a lot better. Seems like always November's kind of tough, but you can catch a big one. You can catch a lot of numbers. It seems hard to actually get a good pattern going, though. The fish are so scattered and just chasing bait. If we can put a few in the boat, let's see how it goes. There's no way I'm hungry. That's a fish. What in the world? I was hung up around a rock and I got a fish. That's crazy. It's a decent one too. I have been hung up 100 times today, guys. I have lost 3 swim baits and 2 leaders. I had a fluke on this rod to start out. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, it wasn't even fighting hard, really. That would have been my first keeper in a month, but I lost him. I was wrapped around a rock. I guess I got to fish slower and drag it on the bottom. That's what I was trying to do. I keep getting hung up. I had a bite on it, like my second cast with this, and missed him. It's probably a small one, but they are not biting topwater. Water temperature is 59. I thought maybe topwater would be a player. I mean, I got wake bait. It ain't really a fast topwater. It was a solid 2-pounder. Need some more of those. Rocks barely come out of here. There's one. Yes, on a jerk bait. Thought it was gonna be a jerk bait kind of day. He's not big. We will take it. We're getting some bites. Not big at all. About to be time for the jerk bait. I have to order me a couple actually. 59-degree water. Let that water temperature drop about 5 more degrees. They'll really start eating jerk bait. Oh, he just threw up bait fish. Look at that. There we go. They're literally started schooling right there. They're tiny guys. They're tiny. They're bigger than that. Well, there's one. Whoever left the tip on YouTube about fishing the end of marinas must have been right, because there's a ton of bait out here, but if the fish are that size, then it's not a good sign. Right, there's some big ones down there with them. That's a fish. Hey, big old largemouth. Stay hooked. God, I was dragging, and he come off. Oh my God. Can't land a fish. Man, that was a close to 3-pound largemouth. I was dragging through the rocks and he just picked it up. Maybe I should throw a jig. Shaky head. Wow. Marinas do have fish. Too bad there's only one more I can fish in this area. can't even land a fish. It's crazy. God dang it. Another big largemouth. And I had a terrible hook set. He was swimming off with it by the time I noticed. I can land him with the shaky head. Tried to go in my drive right there. Yes! There we go, another big largemouth. I don't know, I flipped the bail. He's skinny though, gosh. There we go, guys. Look at that fish. Shaky head just fell out on a trick worm. What? That is a chunk right there. I just lost one smaller than that. I mean, that fish should be 4 pounds, but it's probably a little over 3. Real skinny for some reason. Yes. The big ones are gonna start showing up. Sweet. 304, guys. Only 18 1/4. His tail, he's missing some of his tail. I'm sure he was weighed in at some point. That's why he's skinny. He's in that marina though, feeding up on bait fish. Hopefully he'll get fat before the winter time. This water's crystal clear. He was in the shallowest slip. I mean, it was dirt shallow up there. I'm lucky I hooked him because the bail flipped open when I set the hook. I didn't even have it all the way down. I don't know what happened. There's one. We're outside the slips too. Oh man. That'd be a good one. Now he's just coming right at me. He's gonna go in my drive. Why did he do that? How did that happen? I want to see this fish at least. There he is. He's not huge. It's definitely a spot, obviously. At least I got to see him. He is wrapped in my drive. My line's probably frayed off the crack. And there it goes. I have lost every bait I have today. Yeah, that was probably a 2-pounder. He wasn't huge, but he was a fat butterball spot. Man, how did I get my fish wrapped in my drive? I find a way to lose a fish anyway today. I mean, slammed it. Might be a big one. I was swimming it and he smashed it. That means I need to change baits. Second bite I had though, I had one just pick it up and I'm sitting there trying to get the line loose and he just dropped it. Right when I pulled it off that rock. Oh, a little chunk. That's about the one that got me in my drive. Was about that size, but just fat little butterball. Luckily I got to see him because I would have thought he was a huge one, like I always do. I did see the largemouth clear as day though. He was a chunk. That's another close to 2-pounder. I mean, just like the one I lost beside the kayak, the one I lost in the drive, they're like close to 2 pounds. Take a fish like that every day. Went a few weeks without catching one like that. They're a round rock. I mean, even those largemouth in the marina, every fish I caught, or that bit, even the ones I lost, I was on a rock, bouncing on a rock. Right there, I was just stuck in a rock, popped it off, and then he bit it when I was about to reel it in. They're around rock right now. Well guys, midday update, kind of. I mean, I only got like 2.5 hours of fish, but it seems like the fish are around rock. That shaky head, the links will be in the description for these baits, guys. If you ever have a question what I'm using, the links are always in the description. Surprisingly, there's a lot of boats out here on Thanksgiving. Everybody's off of work, but going on a motor oil color trick worm with a chartreuse tail, just a little, the water's so clear, I wanted something a little translucent, and that seems to be working. I mean, the trick worm's longer, you can get a little bigger bites out of it than you can a little right baits probe. Throwing it on an 8-pound fluoro, you want to get the bait down there, but they're in the rocks this time of year, the natural rock, not the riprap, like the natural river rock. These spots love to hang around it. Even the largemouth, these fish like shade. Even when it's cold, when their fish are feeding, they'll be in the shade. I mean, I caught that last one out in the sun, but when they're in the sun, they'll be deeper or behind a rock. And nobody talks about it really. When the water temperature hits around 57, that fall spawn for the crawfish, they'll have one last spawn before they go hibernate, go in the dirt. So the crawfish are really active when the water temperature gets around 57, and that's why these fish are on the bottom. But I mean, they're still chasing bait. They just happen to, if they swim by, if they're in the rock chasing bait, they see a crawfish, they're eating both. I mean, these fish are always eating, whatever, they're opportunistic, they're going to eat everything. But that's when the cranky bite gets really good this time of year. Hopefully this pattern will hold up. Hopefully we can catch a couple more big largemouth. I'm just happy to catch some fish. It's been a struggle lately. Stay tuned. What? It's more than tiny. Yeah. They're tiny. Man. Got bit 10 times on that cast. They're itty bitty. So small you lose them in the kayak. There he goes. There's bait here though. I just seen him busting on bait. But the bait's tiny. There might be some big ones around though. Marinas, that's why I pedaled all the way over to this marina. It's hard to pattern fish in a kayak, but it's hard to pattern fish period at Norman anyways. Oh, there's a fish. That was weird. They're just in random spots. He's fighting weird, like he might be a catfish. Not at all. It's just a little spot. I mean, not a bad size compared to what I've been catching. I will take these guys. This is not how you land a fish, guys. Oh, I got 11 minutes, I gotta go. But another chunk. Probably 1.8. It's not huge or nothing. But just random. I mean, I didn't even get it up against the floats like I wanted it to be. And then I'm pulling it out and he eats it. He eats it way out away from anything. They're not really on. I'd like to have a live scope right now because they're chasing bait. They're in the shade, like on the shade lines, but they're just randomly here and there. I thought marinas might be it might just be the black floats, but marinas seem to have a lot of bait. There's bait back here too. It's just random when you catch one. They're not really grouped up like they should be. Well guys, that was the day. Short day. Only had like 5.5, 6 hours to fish. Gotta go home, eat some dinner, watch the Cowboys win. But found out a little bit, got a little bit of confidence if I do fish a tournament this weekend. Maybe figure out a little bit of pattern. The shaky head and the marina. I might have to hold off on this video if I do some tournaments. Lost 2 nice ones right there. 2 3-pounders would have been good at a tournament. Couldn't cover a lot of water in the kayak, and couldn't, when I got to where the fish are, I kind of wanted to slow down, but only had a certain amount of time today, so I feel like I kind of had to rush. I wanted to break down some of those spots, but it did make me cover enough water. I got to try a few marinas. It's weird how both those largemouth were up shallow in those marina slips, but they were around rock. Fish are chasing bait. They're kind of random, scattered. They should be grouped up this time of year. Hopefully we get a few more cold days. This water temperature keeps dropping. I mean, it was up to 61 before I left. It's probably gonna get up even warmer than that. When the water temperature gets around 55, they'll really group up. And hopefully, I probably should catch them cranking. If we can get some rain and water come up and get some stained water, the bite will get really good. But the fishing's only gonna get better. Next few videos should be tournament videos. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on NC Bassing.